Hello everyone, this is Dracovan here, coming at you with an updated Blue Eyes profile. So I'm actually in my back garden, so it might be a bit of background noise, but I figured I'd enjoy a little bit of sunshine before we all go into a depressing winter. But nonetheless, this is an update for Blue Eyes in October 2025. So if you're new here, welcome. Please like, comment, subscribe, provide feedback if there's anything you wish I should change. But without further ado, let's get started. So this time round I've tried to optimize it the best I can, because we are no longer going through the Fiendsmith route. Instead, it's going to be a traditional Blue Eyes Primite with a lot of hand traps. So just to get the Blue Eyes stuff out of the way, 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon, it's beautiful ultimate rare, 1 Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, 3 Sage of Eyes of Blue, 3 Maiden of White, and 1 Effect Veiler. So as far as it goes, it's pretty much standard. I'm testing Blue Eyes Jet Dragon again because I want to see how well it fits when it comes to destruction effects and prevention, and I just want to flex new cards, I suppose. Effect Veiler is now back in the main. We definitely need more interruption now than ever. Pretty much Blue Eyes monsters. Moving on to spells. For the spell lineup for Blue Eyes, 3 wishes, and then of course 1 of each of the bricks, if you want to say. Nothing much to talk about, it's just consistency really. So going back to 3 Blue Eyes, or 3 wishes, excuse me, just to search any one of these 2, and then get this with Maiden, and then get this through the Link monster. Nothing much has changed, so very straightforward on that one. Primite package, so 3 Ether Barrel, 3 Load, 2 Drill Beam. So I'm always going to be an advocate to say this, I think 2 is better than 1 when it comes to Drill Beam, if you can find the space. I believe the deck is currently 41, but this will never change in my opinion. And I think the second Drill Beam is just that good. So yeah, moving on to hand traps. Hand trap wise, we are running kind of an abundance of them. Magnuts, just to get to the dragons, and there's a lot of light targets in the grave, or darks for that matter, so that matters now. Back into 3 Frolos, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Ghost Bell, 3 Draw and Lockbird, and 3 Dominus Purge. So of course the draws will conflict with the Full Loss, but the Full Loss is just to simply put pressure into the opponent. And then I'm going to use Ash Blossom first before I use the Dominus Purges every time where possible. If I do use the Purge in the hand, then it only affects Ash and Magnot for the most part. Other than that, that's more or less the main deck. Moving on to the extra. So extra deck now, 2 Spirit of Eyes of Blue, 1 Hieratic Seals, 1 Link Karibo, and 1 SP Level 9. Link Karibo is much welcomed back into the deck thanks to the recent ban list, and it's also a nice bridge to get into the SP as well. It's just good to have like another way to use your level 1s in the deck really, so that's why it's in there. Could also slow down Yummy with big attacks, I suppose, but it's pretty good so far. For synchros, 2 Spirit Dragon, so shout out to the boys way back in the day for hooking me these up. Love you lots, we'll never get rid of them. Going with 1 Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. There's a lot of targeting involved, so I think this is a good call, especially when you get to the Ultimate Spirit Dragon. So if this dies when you typically special summon with this one, you can bring back Azure, and then Azure effects will trigger to make all your dragons that you control unaffected by destructive effects and targeting. So I think that's really good, as that's why it's in there. And then to round off for the other Spirit Dragon targets, Life Dragon and Light Storm Dragon. This is just super heavy samurai, just swing, and this is really good when it comes to back row. And if this dies, you can set a spell or trap. So pretty good for what it's worth. So moving on to the fusions, nothing much has changed. 1 Tyrant Dragon, 1 Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and the card I can never pronounce, so I'm just going to call it the Primite Fusion monster. In the past I used Primite Fusion, but then I realized it's not that good when you don't have normal monsters in your graveyard. So Primite Fusion should be used for other materials instead. That's my honest opinion. But when you have normal monsters in the graveyard with this monster out, it makes you may have such a hard time. So really good for what it's worth, and gets 36, so pretty respectful for all cases. And finally, round off the extra deck, controversial hot take, but number 38, Hall Harbinger. Make use of those level 8 dragons, or blue eyes in particular. Just basically prevent back row hate for like Lightning Storm or Obedient Schools or anything like that. Anything that's going to take a change in the gameplay, this should be paramount in my opinion. And you can also redirect attack for big monsters coming your way to this month first. So moving on to the side, free Retaliating Sea, combats against the Mitsurugi ritual spell and Obedient School and stuff like that. Opponent has a really tough time with banishment in this format, so getting rid of anything that hits the grave is really good. Speaking of banished, evenly matched for board states. We are playing 1 Solemn Judgment, but we are replacing the 2 that we are missing with 2 Dragon's Mind. Plenty of 25 or 25 defense bodies, so that's what's in there. Might take a little more setup and probably the weakest of the side deck, but it is what it is. My back row hate, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Duster, of course, and then just general cards to search everything. Triple Tragic Thrust, and of course the Talons. So very straightforward. I'm going to test how this goes and give you an updates in maybe a couple of weeks time. One last OTS championship before we wrap this up, because then I won't be able to perform for a while, so do bear with me. So that more or less concludes the profile of this deck profile, guys. So thank you very much for watching, and if you do have any feedback, please let me know. Until next time, wish us luck in the final OTS in the Dude season for the year, and with that, it's Draco here, signing out.